Weather emergencies, including flooded roads and fallen trees, can overwhelm a dispatcher. But the Upshur County Sheriff's Office is using a tool to track flood-prone areas, taking some of the burden off of dispatchers. KLTV7's Bob Hallmark explains.
Over the past 3 days, Upshur County has taken reports of downed trees blocking county roads and some flooded roadways.
A lot of the local creeks that run through Upshur County do swell outside of their banks and start flooding low-lying areas.
This is one of the areas the county is monitoring right now. This is a creek off of Poplar Road, and as the heavy rains continue, the creek is swelling out of its banks and into the nearby trees.
The Upshur County Road and Bridge guys have worked real hard on that area.
The steady rain has saturated the soil, loosening the root structure and causing the tree to topple under its weight.
Anytime we have a rain event like this, we do have trees that'll cross the roadway falling down.
In the past, dispatchers would be jammed with calls from the public during this, but Webb has an automated mapping system that helps identify trouble spots.
This is our computer-aided dispatching mapping system that we have. You can see where our deputies currently are in the county. If dispatch or anybody was to come aware of a road blockage, they could actually mark that on their map themselves, and this would be instantaneous update. They can show road blockages, they can show flooding.
The system is directly connected to patrol and constable units. Every tool possible used for safety.
If you see water crossing the roadway, don't take a chance on it.
Bob Hallmark, KLTV 7 News.
Sheriff Webb says as of today, all Upshur County roads are clear of water and trees, and there are no road closures.